Hey guys, this is the Great Jedi and welcome back to the channel. Now before we get into the video, please consider subscribing, smashing the like button, commenting, and hitting the notifications bell down below. Anyways, let's jump right into the video. Okay guys, the community transmission, patch notes, and community calendar all just got released. I haven't taken a look at it yet. We're gonna just dive into my live reaction and live thoughts about this. This is going to be an uncut footage. So to start off, here's the community calendar. It looks very similar to the leaked community calendar. The only difference that I noticed right off the bat is during the February 7th to the 10th, they rephrased it. Instead of saying 10 versus 10, like 10 heroes on each side, they said a chaotic event that sees the maximum amount of heroes on each side. So that means that Capital Supremacy probably won't be getting the cross-era heroes for that weekend, which sucks. I thought that'd be pretty unique. But, I mean, let's just jump right into this. So this is the community calendar. Everything else is the same. So if you're wanting more details, just pause the video, or you can go ahead and look at my other video that should have got posted at 4 o'clock. Alright, here we go. Community transmission. The BB update. Says incoming transmission. We're back with more news and information on the next update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Back in December, we mentioned that both BB8 and BB9 would be coming to the game, and you also got a sneak peek at them in the trailer we released. Known for his courage, BB8 will play his part as an offensive hero. This will help balance out the light side, which currently has a support-oriented roster. With an astromech joining the light side, it seems only fitting that the dark side should also get one. That's where BB9 comes into play. While BB8's bravery helps him charge into the battlefront, BB9 is cold, calculating, and will play more of a support role, fitting in nicely with the dark side hero roster. Okay, so we all know this. If you guys been keeping up with like my videos and stuff, I do like the idea of BB90 being a support hero. I think the dark side really needs that. Okay, now let's moving on to the BB update, Age of the Rebellion. Okay, so let's go through this. As January comes to a close, our attention turns to February, and with it, the confirmation that we will return to the original trilogy in Age of the Rebellion. Nice. Cool, so we're going to get original trilogy content. That's cool. This includes bringing specific planets to both co-op and later on capital... Oh, they didn't say capital supremacy, they said supremacy. Interesting. So, that's confirmation, guys. They're bringing the original trilogy to co-op and supremacy. I'm pretty sure they maybe forgot capital, or maybe they're calling it supremacy. I don't know. I doubt they're adding another game mode like from the 2015 named Supremacy, but we'll just have to see. Since we know that many of you have been requesting this, and we're incredibly excited at the project of playing as Luke, Leia, Darth Vader, and more, through both co-op and Supremacy. I forgot it again. I don't know. Alright, but that's so cool. It's confirmed, guys. I'm super, super excited. Alright, let's just continue. With the arrival of the original trilogy, we will make a name change. Capital Supremacy will simply be known as Supremacy. Okay, so it's just a name change, not a new game mode. It says we're remaining the game mode to encompass all eras. At the upcoming original trilogy, variant will be fought exclusively on the ground. Okay, so that's interesting. So at least it's confirmed to come to co-op and Supremacy. But I'm a little disappointed on why we're not getting the Star Destroyer or the Capital Ship phase. But I'm like, it's like Conquest, so I'm not disappointed. I'm actually pretty happy. That way we get to pick our eras, and you know, we get to choose if we want Conquest or the twist that DICE put on it with the capital ships. But they said during development, we looked at the experiences that both Death Star 2 and Scarif would offer. Scarif, interesting. Okay, are they adding that? Deciding that the Age of Rebellion would be focused on ground-based combat, which is better fit for some of the more iconic locations we have available. It's hard to imagine leaving the Death Star to go to a capital ship, but let alone having to deal with the shield that surrounds Scarif. Okay, so let's stop right there. Death Star going... That totally makes sense on why they're not adding the capital ship phase to it. I didn't even think about that. That totally makes sense. But they're talking about Scarif. Are they adding that? It says, okay, let's just keep on reading. But don't worry, it's still the same great supremacy experience, just focused on ground-based gameplay. And yes, you heard right, we're bringing Scarif back from 2015 Star Wars Battlefront. Yes, this is one of my favorite maps that I've been wanting to come into Battlefront 2, and I'm so excited. Just playing it in the campaign, it was just so cool. I love that map. I cannot wait for this. I'm so excited. This is one of the most highly requested planets, and we're incredibly excited to see it return to the Battlefront. Yes. Okay. More details on the specifics of our Age of Rebellion content will come in February, but before that arrives, we're just days away from the next update. Let's take a look on what's coming at Monday, February 3rd. Okay, that's confirmation, guys. The update will be arriving on Monday, February 3rd, which means I will be doing a live stream of this new update, probably that Friday or Saturday. Just depending, I'll let you guys know ahead of time. So if you guys are new, consider hitting the notifications bell and subscribing. Okay, here we go. New hero BB8. Alright, here we go. A familiar droid within the Resistance, BB8 has become a fan favorite within the Star Wars universe since his debut in Star Wars The Force Awakens. You're a true friend, Raider BB8. Okay. If there's one thing BB8 can do, it's move fast. Okay, we already know that. We've seen him rolling at great speed through multiple environments in the films, and he'll act the same way in Star Wars Battlefront 2. He will feel fast, able to move in and out of harm's way at speed, while also being able to capture a command post at a quicker rate than others. Interesting. I wonder if that's one of the passive abilities, but we'll just see. Along with his ability to capture command posts, BB8 with another advantage, his rolling charge ability. Activate it and BB8 will roll much faster than normal head first. When he bumps into an enemy, he extends his head, damaging and pushing them back. And if BB8 finds himself in a position he can't zip out of, he can use his shock prod on enemies in front of him, which deals electrical damage to them over time. Always want to have a few tricks ready to go. BB8 can also call upon his resistance backing ability, which unveils enemies around him. Enemies around him. Not only will they be revealed, they will also be more vulnerable to attacks, taking slightly increased damage. Any enemies revealed by resistance backing will also have their radar corrupted. Rounding off his abilities is his cable spin, where BB8 will begin to rotate, extending 3 tow cables, hitting all enemies around him and causing high damage. And then there's the little GIF right there, having his thumbs up. So BB8 seems pretty powerful. I think I'm really excited to use BB8 as a hero. I don't know how he's gonna work with going against some of the abilities. I don't know if he's gonna be pushed and pulled, or if he's gonna go right through it like the Droideka, but he seems pretty powerful, so I'm really excited to try him out. Okay, now we're moving on to the BB8 passive abilities. Alright. BB8 will have 3 passive abilities, which means they'll always be present and won't require input in order to activate. Simply meet the requirements and the passive abilities will be carried out. So technical support. BB8 will count as 2 units when capturing a command post and activating an objective device much faster. Okay, so basically, if you guys don't know what passive abilities means, it's basically just given to him. You don't have to activate it. His other one is Swift Reaction. BB8 increases the cooldown of speed of nearby friendly characters' abilities. Okay, that's like the officer, and the technical support is like an objective hero. So and then the health on kill, which is just like all the other heroes except for Bosk. Upon defeating an opponent, BB8 will receive some health back. I think I might love BB8 because if you guys know me, and you guys are in my live streams, you guys know I love playing the objective. So I think I might have a blast with BB8, especially because I just like objective. I'm not one to go on a lot of kill streaks and stuff. Alright, now we have BB8 movement type. BB8 is faster than most and can traverse the battlefront at great speeds. Dodge. Quick dodge to the side. Oh, so he actually has dodge. That's interesting. Jump. A quick impulse jump that is slightly higher than Blaster Heroes. That's actually surprising and interesting right there. Now speed similar to a Force user in terms of sprinting speed. Okay. Flashlight. Ability to turn on and off a flashlight. Okay, that's really cool. So the droids are already unique, but now they're even adding even more unique things to them. Like, they'll be able to dodge, jump, go really fast, and they have a flashlight. Like, that's really unique. That's pretty clever. Now, moving on to his star cards. Alright, this is going to be good. So, self-repairs, BB-8's maximum health regen is increased. Spared batteries, every trooper defeated or 200 damage to villains. Increased shock prod damage. We have shielded roll. Hold on, it's right here. BB-8 takes less damage while using rolling charge. We have head first, where BB-8 deals more damage when hitting an enemy with rolling charge. Spinner, when hitting multiple enemies with cable spin, the next cooldown of the ability is reduced. Whirlwind, both the damage and area of effect of cable spin is increased. Uncover, enemies revealed by resistance backing will take extra damage from attacks. Trusty Droid, when BB-8 defeats an opponent that was revealed by resistance backing, he will heal nearby friendly characters. Interesting. Then the last one he has is Roll Together. The increased cooldown speed of BB-8 is improved. Okay. Now here's his victory poses, which is just sided, thumbs up, wired parade, cables out. And then his emotes, which is excited, thumbs up, twist, and angry beeps. That's pretty interesting. I think these are just going to be really fun, unique heroes to try out. Okay, so right now the video is already over 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into 2 parts. I'm going to finish the community transmission for this video. And if they have the patch notes, which they usually do down below, I will just make a part 2 and I'll probably post that around Sunday. Alright, so make sure you guys stay tuned and hit the notifications bell. Now we have the BB update, new hero BB9E. Similar to BB8 and BB9E will have a primary weapon that is centered around his shock prod, which stuns enemies periodically and deals damage over time. Interesting. Okay, I wonder if that's actually the shock prod that he has? Like the GIF right here? Interesting. Okay. BB9E has a number of abilities based on utility, the first of which is Smoke Screen. Upon activation, dense smoke will be emitted from BB9E through the grids on his body, revealing enemies around him for the duration of the active time. His second utility-based ability is Charge Up, which emits a pulse that places his shock prod and all nearby friendly blasters into super success mode. This will cause friendly units to no longer generate heat on their blasters and will also reduce their ability recharge time. Okay, so that just sounds pretty powerful just by itself, especially on like maps when you have to destroy an objective. That he seems like the ultimate support objective hero. So I think I'm gonna really like these droids. But moving on to his third ability, the third ability of BB9E's is Shock Spin. When used, BB9E will spin and release an electric pulse that pushes and damages enemies that are nearby. Any enemies that are further away will have their blasters overheated. Okay, and then, yeah, here's the GIF. Now we have BB9E's passive abilities. Alright. So, technical support, BB9E will count as 2 units when capturing a command post, and activating an objective device is much faster. Back to support, BB9E periodically regenerates the main health of friendly characters around him. Okay, so that's unique to him. But the technical support is just objective 1 like BB8, and then health on kill. Upon defeating an opponent, BB9E will receive some health back. So those two are just like BB8's, but this is exclusive to him, which is pretty interesting. Alright, now we have BB90 movement type. Yeah, so it's basically the same thing as BB8's. And moving down to his star cards, we have full reconstruction, where BB9E's maximum health regen is increased. Then we have linked systems. Every 200 health healed to friendly characters reduces the shock period, or sorry, reduces the shock prod stun cooldown. Then we have Heartly Exhaust. The radius of smoke screen is increased. I see you. And it is enemies revealed by smoke screen will be revealed for longer. We have Faster. Faster. If shock spin hits enough targets, its damage will be doubled for the remaining time. Then we have Spin Me Around. Enemies hit by shock spin will be pushed further away, but its cooldown is increased. Then we have Swift Power. The cooldown of charge up is reduced, and then supercharged is the radius of charge up is increased. Then we have Potent Bacta, which is the radius of Bacta support is bigger, but the cooldown between heals is also increased. And then we have his victory poses, which is Shocking Victory, Incognito, Vigilant, Bow, and then his emotes is Suspicious, Alarm, Backfire, and Spiral. So I'm excited to see what those are. Alright, now we have, moving on to the Age of the Resistance, Supremacy and Instant Action. Okay, now we're getting into some of the other stuff besides the heroes. It says, the release of the Age of Resistance into co-op last month was met with a lot of positivity, and it was greatly watching you take on our auto players. This month we're bringing the Age of Resistance to Supremacy, where you'll be able to take on players from all around the world in tug-of-war style gameplay. Okay, so that seems pretty interesting and very fun. With the inclusion of Age of Resistance into Supremacy, we're also bringing the 2 new capital ships to the game. Once the update arrives, you'll be boarding both the MC-85 Star Cruiser and Resurgent class Star Destroyer. There will be 3 planets available in Age of Resistance Supremacy, which is Agent Kloss, Jakku, and Takodana. We have each of these planets will be available in instant action, allowing you to play the Supremacy experience offline. I am so happy for DICE right now that they are considering the offline community. I am all for the offline community, and any content for the offline I'm all for it, because especially when the servers go down, that's all we're going to get, and especially since there's no private matches. And I don't know if you guys know, but I've been an offline player for a long time, and I know how it feels just being an offline exclusive person. So I recently basically started playing online. I think I've only been online for about a year. So alright, now we're moving on to the Era Selector. Yes, I'm very excited for this. It says, back in December of last year, we implemented the Era Select menu, allowing you to choose between the available eras for co-op. With the arrival of Supremacy to the Age of Resistance, we're expanding the Era Select menu to also include Supremacy. Very good. I hope to also see something with like Galactic Assault and the other game modes, but we'll just see. The future will tell. Now we have, as a result, when it comes to playing Supremacy, you'll have the option to choose between both the Age of Republic and Age of Resistance. Alright, that's cool. And then pretty soon we're going to get original Trilogy. I'm so excited. Okay, now when the Age of Rebellion content arrives in February. Okay, so that's confirmed. It is all coming in February. I am really excited. So the Era Select menu will also be updated to include it. Yes, yes. Okay. Now we have auto player improvements. Like this, so far, I am like, this is just a 10 out of 10 right now. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. This is like a really good community transmission, because I didn't think we were going to learn very much from this. Because they kept on giving us news constantly. So I thought, oh, okay, so they're going to let us everything know early, and this is just going to be like a recap. But no, they actually saved stuff, and they were telling us about all this other content. So good job to DICE. Alright, now we have, since their addition to the game, auto players have become some of the most feared opponents across the galaxy. They are receiving some updates this month, and it starts with new auto player reinforcement. Alright, within the next update, auto players will be able to play as droidicas on all planets and across all game modes that support them. Awesome. So it wasn't always the best idea to get up close and personal to an auto player, and you'll want to even be more careful in the future, as auto player troopers and reinforcements will now be able to perform melee attacks. Wow. So they're going to be pretty good. So, okay, so this isn't even the release notes. This is just, okay, so we have quality of life changes. That's not even the patch notes, guys, or the release notes. Like, okay, we'll get into the release notes next time for part 2 because it's already over 20 minutes. Alright, I'll try and speed this up. Now we have BB8 update, quality of life changes, hit markers. Oh, good. Right off the bat, good job. I hope they're talking about the lightsaber hit markers because the lightsaber hit detection's bad. Not as bad as it used to be, but it needs improvement. Now we created unique hit markers. Oh, what did I say? Hitbox. It's hit markers. I don't know why I was thinking of the hit detection. My bad. Hit markers is when you're hitting somebody, you see kind of like your crosshairs change. But it says we created unique hit markers from the attacker's point of view for explosive and melee damage. This will allow you to more clearly see if you are dealing splash damage or if you are hitting your target directly. In the case where you hit a target with an explosive bullet, you'll see both the normal hit indicator plus new explosive damage indicator. We have also removed an obsolete feature where each hit indicator would turn gray if your absolute amount of damage was below a certain hard threshold. Now, explosive damage reduction. Some game effects can cause you to take less explosive damage from grenades, explosive bullets, and other explosive damage and sources. This includes the bodyguard star card and the protective area within Sentry mode. We have now added the same in-game messaging for this that we use for the normal damage reduction. This means that when you deal explosive damage to an enemy that takes reduced explosion damage, you will see a red animated shield icon emanate that from that hit. To distinguish between explosion damage reduction and normal damage reduction, we have created a unique icon for explosion damage reduction that looks like 4 small dots and can be superimposed onto the already existing shield that we display above the enemy's heads. Okay, now we are also using these 2 icons near your own health bar to show you that you have been buffed by one or both effects. And then the Flame Trooper range UI. It is difficult to know the range of your Flame Trooper's flamethrower. Totally agree. They say we are evaluating this by adding a UI element that shows the flamethrower range briefly when you start firing it. Oh, that's interesting. I'm really excited to try all these changes out now. Okay, cool. Vizian Gunner spool up functionally. Okay, we've implemented spool up functionally for the Vizian Gunner's weapon. Hold zoom to spool up the weapon, ensuring that it is ready to fire immediately when you find a target. The crosshairs have also been updated to visually show that you need to spool up before you can fire. Then we have Heavily Sentry Abilities updates. We've tweaked the Heavy Trooper Sentry abilities to be more in line with the Vizian Gunner. The spool up functionality has been applied to all Sentry weapons and can be activated by holding the zoom button. To complement this change, the spool up time required on all versions of Sentry has been increased. This means that the initial time cost to go into Central fire your first shot is increased, but once spooled up, you'll have a better tactical solution than previously. The passive timer in Sentry has been removed. Okay, so that's interesting. Ensuring that you have more control over the number of shots you can fire. While fully spooled up, you will drain a small amount of time, the ability's total, but this drain will only dissipate up to 80% of your total available time. Okay, so that's some good changes. As with the Vizian Gunner, we have also updated the crosshairs to visually show that you need to spool up before you can fire. Okay, so obviously they have a lot in this update. They didn't really talk about Vader and his new animations and stuff. Maybe that's probably in the patch notes. That'll be for part 2. But make sure you guys hit the notifications bell if you guys want to see part 2 in the patch notes and my review update, which will probably be towards the end of the week. That way I can try out everything and kind of give my impressions. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe. This is the Great Jedi, and may the Force be with you always.